Joyce Dodge, the MTO Misses. This is part 6 of our Germany trip. And so at this point, we had really seen just about everything we wanted to see in this the Stuttgart area. So we decided to go into Stuttgart and see some things in there that we hadn't seen. Because again, we've been there once before. Okay, so we decided to go to the natural history museums. There were 2 of them. The first thing we noticed, however, it has been 3 years since we were in Stuttgart. And we got there and, oh wow, we had to still take the long trip around to the outside of the station. We had to go the long way around the station because it's still under construction. We could tell they made some progress, but oh my goodness, it's quite a hike you take there. So we went to the first museum. We took a tram to get over to the museum, and this one was based on the findings of a couple of anthropologists. And so it had a lot of dinosaur things in it, and that was really cool. I really have never been in a museum with dinosaurs before, so that was kind of my first experience with that. And so when we finished that one, we took the hike through the park area, a castle.
It was, yeah, a palace.
Yeah, this was an area that was a palace, so it had a garden. So we took a nice walk around the garden area to the palace then that had the second Natural History Museum. And this one was more, I would say, genealogy. That's the wrong word.
Biology.
Yeah, it was biology and evolution.
Yeah.
You say? Okay, this one was focused more on biology of animals and the evolution of animals. So it had a different take on it, so it was also pretty cool. They had this huge whale in the middle of a room that had the one side it was intact, and on the other side it had the different sections of the whale.
It was the actual skeleton.
It was a skeleton.
It was the actual skeleton.
Yeah, so that you could see the actual skeleton of the whale and different parts of the whale. So we watched a video on the whale. So that was pretty cool. So anyway, enjoy.
Great.
Hi, Joyce and I are in the northern...
We're going to see the dinosaurs.
We're in the northern section of Stuttgart.
Yeah.
We've been in the heart of Stuttgart before, so now we're going to try to hit some places we haven't seen. But we are at a natural history museum, so it's all kinds of fossils and everything else here. We thought we have some time. Let's check out some stuff.
Sure, let's go look at it.
So, dinosaurs and everything. And the easy-to-find businesswoman on a cell phone walking down the street talking, because that's everywhere in Stuttgart, and men too. All right, let's go in. So yeah, we're walking in. It's a small museum. It's not great, but there's all kinds of cool things that we could see here. And it's actually in 2 parts. There's one section here. This is the smaller section. And there's another part, about a mile or 2 miles that way at a castle. So, where yesterday we were saying we were done with castle. Well, it's not a castle. It's a palace. So, thing is, when you go to a city like Stuttgart, you can spend a week in the city and not see everything. And we didn't come to this area just to see Stuttgart. We've actually seen the heart of Stuttgart before. So we came to see a lot of other things in the region. Let's see what our big fossil rock is. Der Rätselstein von Westenstetten, so the puzzle rock. 4.7 metric ton heavy stone was found in Stetten, which is an area around here.
I think those are sea creatures.
Just filmed some basic stuff, but this is all about the Permian Triassic extinction. 3D prints of. So they.
Dieses Raubtier mit dem Säbelzähler war eines der größten seiner Art und gehört zu einer Gruppe aus der Geschichte, die Säugetiere entwickeln.
So this is a 252 million year old fossil of a coelacanth, but they survived. They were there before the extinction and after the extinction.
Generous diet, slow metabolism, high
Wobei es schon cool wäre.
Okay, so Kenodonts were survivors. So those are the ones that disappeared, which is interesting. They say forerunners to mammals, so they must have had followers where they were wiped out, but things that evolved from them died. Astrosaurus.
Anything burrows.
Diconodonts survived to their small size and living in burrows. So yeah, they were accustomed to the dark and small areas. So showing some of these things that survived in the
Sieht aus wie eine kleine Katze.
so volcanic eruptions, massive volcanic eruptions.
Tremendous release of methane.
And there's that dude surviving.
Let's go back underground.
Yeah.
Doesn't look right.
So interesting from this extinction, yeah, fewer bones.
Yeah. These plants are able to keep their seeds underground. Right.
So the Alsace region of France were one of the first areas to recover from it. That's very cool to learn. So Graufvogel, okay.
Gray bird.
Yeah. And so they're the two, father and daughter, that set this place up. So just all kinds of botanical. Yeah, you know, I film it just showing we were here, but really you get in close and just look at the different seeds, seeds and small plant.
Germinating, so no seeds.
So conifer fossils. ginkgo trees. So trees that exist today, but we see that their ancestors lived in that time period. So leaf of a cedar. A trypanosaur. The crest and skull are poorly preserved. The skeleton is typical for a trypanosaur and shows a long body with wide ribs and a curving tail that would have grasped branches. Yeah. The plant fossils also preserved to illustrate the environment in which it lived.
It's a stand.
So it had that giant, almost like a forerunner of a Dimetrodon or something. So you can see in the fossils here, like a young one.
Right.
And then you can see a fossil of a large one about this size. And this one. That's pretty wild.
Picture I can go to the.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. No, I did different types of fossils.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if. Oh, yeah. That's an insect wing fossil. Cicada morphs. Juvenile cicada. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, okay. Finding footsteps. What that is.
Yeah, you got the arrow points to where it is.
Okay.
So plants and little bits. More peepholes. These things are really tiny. You have to. It's a mirror glass. That is a cockroach. And another cockroach. A scorpion. This is a big one. I mean, the actual size, yeah, say 3 inches. Maybe 4. And then another well-preserved one. So insects and arachnids. More conifer. Male cone. A trunk or branch likely of an albirtia.
That's a scorpion.
You got 2 of them there.
Where the spider? Actually. Spinner.
And some more conifer there, and different types of conifers. How big they became.
Well, and they have magnified it greatly.
Yeah.
See, they're wrong.
And then a millipede. There it is. And Neuropteridium? No, Neuropteridium. And a fern. And mosquito insect ancestors. Riparian area. So we're going through different ecosystem styles, from very wet to not so wet to dry, and what grew there and what they find there. So that was a Temnospondyl, a capitosauroid. Equicytites. Thought I was filming it. I wasn't. Dinosaurs. First traces of dinosaurs. Tracking the hand beast. Yeah, they got this little trail. And we're looking for this little. And in case you're wondering what they based it on, here it is. We were in Wyoming and saw rocks filled with dinosaur fossils and footprints when our kids were little. Archosaur ancestor. So here they're showing you where this stuff was found. Tanzania, Italy. Archosaur, the rhinoceros. All long-necked Archosaur ancestor. So showing you how new information shows that these animals might have had or would have had hair, how things evolved. And how you interpret how the beast looked. And how you distinguish hair from feathers. So now, specifically Baden-Württemberg and some of the different things that were found here. Locations of some famous finds. $244 million years ago. So, Placidus, marine reptile. Simosaurus, so Baden-Württemberg would have been underwater back then. Oh, wow. So, an example of a mother giving live birth caught in fossil. These are all water-based reptilians. Obviously a fish back there. Nothosaur. Its head and a full, obviously a younger one compared to that one, because that's a much bigger skull than that one. Oh, Plesiosaur. And permanent larvae. So different versions of Plesiosaurs. Oh my. Mastodonsaurids.
Oh, wow, that's what? That's his jaw. Okay. So he's about 5 meters high.
These different jaws. Archosaurs. This is a Pseudosuchian. So the Triassic is quite a wild transition.
Yeah.
You don't see them here. You go down here and then you see it nice and clear. Boy, looks like everything wanted to eat you back then. Yeah, did you look in there? If you look from above, you can't see it, and I think it's done that way on purpose. You go down, and then you can see just how vibrant and violent it's about to get. Fish traps.
Top of the seaboard. Wow. So we gotta fit what goes in.
Oh, okay, I see. More Sudasukians. Interesting, because you got Sudasukian and then a Mastodonsaurid. Wild. So that's the two creatures recreated over here. So we definitely have jumped a few ages, so somewhere we took the wrong turn, but I think this is technically considered a different exhibition here. This is all stuff that would have been found in Europe. I mean, they've got the whole thing over there.
We're going to Wyoming.
Yeah, I was just talking about that a little bit ago. All these different elephant types. And then, bam. Epic. So these are teeth. of different types. You have what was called the forest elephant and Waldelephant in Stuttgart. So this was found in Stuttgart. So after Stuttgart was underwater towards the end of the Triassic period, it was above water. So now we're into other ages. This is a Pleistocene age. From 2.6 million years ago to about 12,000 years ago. And look at that skull. Just and more Jurassic. So this is supposed to be in sort of a time thing, but we apparently got turned around and missed part of the tour line. If you ever want to know where myths of dragons came from, imagine ancient men finding these in rocks. I remember somewhere out west as a kid, we went to one of the natural history museums and they had just a giant ancient turtle skeleton. Probably 10, 12 foot high. These are ancestors of crocodiles. This is something akin to a plesiosaur, I believe, but this is crocodile. And again, a
Turtle.
pardon?
Turtle.
Is that?
No.
I don't think so. Thought that was a plesiosaurid of some kind. It's interesting that they didn't finish excavating, that they saved this as a thing, including with the day's notes of the find, what they found, what they're doing before they carved it out. Just put it on display here. Look like giant mosquito heads.
Why didn't you take a picture?
No, it's all right.
I'm sure you
I've actually kind of just done some broad sweeps filming because if I tried to film everything, we would be here forever. And this is just one half of the exhibit. The other half's in the castle. Prosauropod. So now we're back in Triassic, so I have to figure out where we got things wrong. There's turtles. Schildkröten. And there weren't even things that remotely look like humans around. Things that are still around today were around back then. And even things like this are just now your chickens and your turkeys. Or at least some of them evolved into your chickens and your turkeys. But those are the things that most likely evolved into your chickens and your turkeys. Fossilized algae or corals. Sort of a fox-cat mix, isn't it? So the next mass extinction, which our most famous one, the one that wiped out the dinosaurs, but here they show some of the different extinctions of what happened and how the climate changed, led to the rise and death. But you have the different mass extinctions. 1, 2, 3. 3 was the one between the Permian and the Triassic, where 80% of all species died. Then you have the famous one that killed the dinosaurs, which is only about at least 40% to 70% of all died. And then the last section showing bear cats and giant chipmunks. Okay, well, I'm going to end this tour here so I can look at a couple of things more closely, but already a lot of video. What an amazing place. €8 to get in, $10. All right, Joyce and I are walking through a naturally protected park. It is a park, but it's allowed to go wild grass, everything else. This is part of a chain of different types of parks that connect all these different museums. And we're going from the Natural History Museum at Lowen's Tor, as it's called, and now we're going up to the Castle Rosenstein one, which is about a kilometer or so or less away. All right, we are arriving at Schloss Rosenstein, and this area is Rosenstein Park, or part of it. And the other half of the Natural History Museum is in here. So we're going to go in here and see what we can see. Sorry, got a crow yakking at us and I yacked back. That was a great shot. This next castle, Rosenstein, Rosengarten. This is absolutely pretty. For you guys that like industrial scenery, we've got a factory over here. And we got the Neckar River down there. Okay, this is the smaller of the two museums, but oh my goodness. I love the lighting effect in here. Is that a blue whale? There's a coelacanth. Wow, that looks just like washed up on the shore. And whale shark. That's cool. Manatee. white shark. Forget what breed of octopus, a seal. Even the seabirds. How would that be to a narwhal?
Yeah, somewhat.
I wish it said what kind of whale that was. Now, along the ridge right below you. So this is dry climate environment. So they show you the areas of Africa they're representing.
Das wäre toll, oder? Das ist doch super. Nicht machen, Moni. So. Wenn du damit dann noch eine Scheibe kommst und reinschlägst, dann wird es gehen.
This is a type of antelope that lives in Central Asia. Look at the funny nose and mouth. This is like Russian steppes. But look at that antelope. It's a type of antelope. But look at the nose and mouth. It's wild. Ostrich. Wow. Look at that ostrich. There's your scarab, aka the dung beetle, but not the blue version.
habe ich tatsächlich mal gegoogelt, was es so für Schnecken gibt. Die kannst du tatsächlich kaufen. Da war auch irgendwann.
Mama, gibt es in echt die Schnecken?
Ja,
Rentier?
ja. Also die jetzt nicht, aber es gibt welche.
Okay, dann suche ich mal welche Riesenschnecken. Nur eine brauche ich. Dann 6 da Riesenbruder.
Bats. This is the Andes with the Indian condors. Massive. Don't expect it to come at you from the trees, do you?
Zeig mal die kleinen Äxte.
Das hier? Für Baumstamm. Baumstamm.
Muschel. Da ist eine Schnecke, die rausguckt unter Wasser.
So this is just based on habitat climate. And then the other side of that whale. Yeah, deep, deep, deep. They don't have as much color. They're crabs. Yeah, they're not spiders, they're crabs. This is deep, where things tend not to have color. Thousand species on our doorstep, so this is specifically things in this region. Bugs and flowers and other animals. All right, so we're heading in the final wing just to get some animals. So it's a small, although if you want to see an entire butterfly collection. And then some cladistics there. Oh, some spiders. And insects and spiders. Oh my. just going to go around the edge here. Flower pot snake. Wow. Hadn't heard of that one. And then fossil records. And speaking of fossils, teeth, and then bing, a mammoth, another mammoth skeleton. Footprints of these different animals. Humans change biodiversity. Yes, we do. Not used to seeing panda bears like that. It's a little bit on. So this was an actual living elephant that has been taxidermied, any model of a young one. Orangutan right here. So many of these creatures here were found dead, and then the group here buys them, and other groups as well. And then they make them presentations. Or they were animals in zoos. And when they pass away. All right, just one more room. Actually, two more rooms. So we got the monkey and ape section. The primates. I mean, we are still primates, and technically, we are still monkeys. We're just tailless monkeys. Right turn, Clyde. Okay, so there's actually a much wider, I thought it was a small room coming in, but, oh, look at the porcupine and the anteater. I can film this quick because I can pause it on the TV, and when this goes up on Joyce's channel, they can seagulls. Yeah, I don't want to run into this kind of a spider. Now this is enlarged 30 times, a male spider and a female spider mating. And if form is followed, he doesn't live long afterwards. So, shark eggs, just like the white ones I was pointing out. All the info you can put on bugs, but this is a place you just got to come and experience. Or any natural history museum. You don't have to come to this one. You will find similar things in many communities, but they're amazing. The Komodo dragon. Peacock. The only thing cooler than a peacock is an albino peacock. And birds and birds and birds, but and the fox. Alright, so we just left the museum, which was up there, but you got these two lakes, Inselzee. You know, they're man-made ponds. And we're heading over this way to the subway station. And my camera says it's full. So this may be the last video I make for this. Alright, it is late evening. Trace and I just had some ice cream after having a really good bratwurst a couple hours ago before we left Stuttgart. But one thing we've never done in Stuttgart, we've never gone to the town hall. We're going down to the river here, so we have decided to do that. And a lot of these German towns, especially near the mountains, will have these things. These are actually, you know, they flow water in, and could have even been sewers and fountains, but they also act as, they cool the town. The flowing water keeps the temperature within the town a little cooler. So this is the Fies River, F-I-L-S, Fies. And the old town of Ebersbach. I like behind you.
A river you could play in.
So we had never come down to see the river feast, and now we have. Yeah, although that's a little rough there. If we took the rudder off. Very shallow there. Okay. There's the city church that way.